1 Samuel chapter 15. Samuel said to Saul, "The Lord sent me to anoint you as king over his people Israel. So listen now to a message from him. The Lord who ruled over Saul says, I will punish the Amalekites because of what they did to Israel. As the Israelites came up from Egypt, the Amalekites attacked them. Now go, attack the Amalekites. Completely destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare the Amalekites. Put the men and women to death. Put the children and the babies to death. Also kill the cattle, sheep, camels, and donkeys." So Saul brought his men together at Telaim. The total number was 200,000 soldiers on foot from Israel and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Amalek. Then Saul had some of his men hide and wait in the valley. Then Saul said to the Kenites, "You were kind to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. Get away from the Amalekites, then I won't have to destroy you along with them." So the Kenites moved away from the Amalekites. Saul attacked the Amalekites. He struck them down all the way from Havilah to Shur. Shur was near the eastern border of Egypt. Saul captured Agag, the king of the Amalekites, but he and his men totally destroyed with their swords or Agag's people. So Saul and the army spared Agag. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle. They spared the fat calves and lambs. They spared everything that was valuable. They were not willing to completely destroy any of those things, but they totally destroyed everything that was worthless and weak. Then the Lord gave Samuel a message. He said, "I'm very sad. I have made Saul king. He has turned away from me. He has not done what I directed him to do." When Samuel heard that, he was angry. He cried out to the Lord during that whole night. Early the next morning, Samuel got up and went to see Saul. But Samuel was told, Saul went to Carmel. There he set up a monument in his own honor. Now he has gone on down to Gilgal. When Samuel got there, Saul said, "May the Lord bless you. I've done what he directed me to do." But Samuel said, "Why do I hear the baying of the sheep? Why do I hear the mooing of cattle?" Saul answered, "The soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and cattle. They did it to sacrifice them to the Lord your God. But we totally destroy everything else." "That's enough," Samuel said to Saul. "Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night." "Tell me," Saul replied. Samuel said, "There was a time when you didn't think you were important, but you became the leader of the tribe of Israel. The Lord anointed you to be the king of Israel. He sent you to do something for him. He said, 'Go and completely destroy the Amalekites. Go and destroy those evil people. Fight against them until you have wiped them out.' So why didn't you obey the Lord? Why did you keep for yourselves what you have taken from your enemies? Why did you do what is evil in the sight of the Lord?" "But I did obey the Lord," Saul said. "I went to do what he sent me to do. I completely destroyed the Amalekites. I brought back Agag, their king. The soldiers took sheep and cattle from what had been taken from our enemies. They took the best of what had been set apart to God. They wanted to sacrifice them to the Lord their God at Gilgal." But Samuel replied, "What pleases the Lord more, burnt offerings and sacrifices, or obeying the Lord? It is better to obey than to offer a sacrifice. It is better to do what he says than to offer the fat or rams." Refusing to obey the Lord is as sinful as using evil magic. Being proud is as evil as worshiping statues of gods. You have refused to do what the Lord told you to do, so he has refused to have you as king. Then Saul said to Samuel, "I have sinned. I've broken the Lord's command. I've done what you directed me to do. I was afraid of the man, so I did what they said I should do. Now I beg you, forgive my sin. Come back into town with me so I can worship the Lord." But Samuel said to him, "I won't go back with you. You have refused to do what the Lord told you to do, so he has refused to have you as king over Israel." Samuel turned to leave, but Saul grabbed the hem of his robe, and it tore. Samuel said to Saul, "The Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel away from you today. He has given it to one of your neighbors. He has given it to someone better than you. The God who is the glory of Israel does not lie. He doesn't change his mind. That's because he isn't a mere human being. If he were, he might change his mind. Saul replied, I have sinned. But please honor me in front of the elders of my people and in front of Israel. Come back with me so I can worship the Lord your God. So Samuel went back with the sword, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Then Samuel said, Bring me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. Agag was in chains when he came to Samuel. Agag thought, The time for me to put to death must have passed by now. But Samuel said, Your sword has killed the children of another woman, so the child of your mother will be killed. Samuel put Agag to death at Gilgal in front of the Lord. Then Samuel left to go to Ramah. But Saul went up to his home at Gibeah of Saul. Until the day Samuel died, he didn't go to see Saul again. Samuel was filled with sorrow because of Saul, and the Lord was very sad he had made Saul king over Israel. 1 Samuel chapter 16. The Lord said to Samuel, How long will you be filled with sorrow because of Saul? I have refused to have him as king over Israel. Fill your animal horn with olive oil, and go on your way. I am sending you to Jesse in Bethlehem. I have chosen one of his sons to be king. But Samuel said, How can I go? Suppose Saul hears about it, then he will kill me. The Lord said, Take a young cow with you. Tell the elders of Bethlehem, I've come to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice. Then I will show you what to do. You must anoint for me the one I point out to you. Samuel did what the Lord said. He arrived at Bethlehem. The elders of the town met him. They were trembling with fear. They asked, Have you come in peace? Samuel replied, Yes, I've come in peace. I've come to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. Set yourselves apart to him and come to the sacrifice with me. Then he set Jesse and his sons apart to the Lord. He invited them to the sacrifice. When they arrived, and Samuel saw Eliab, he thought, This has to be the one the Lord wants me to anoint for him. But the Lord said to Samuel, Do not consider how handsome or tall he is. I have not chosen him. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outside of the person, but the Lord looks at what is in the heart. Then Jesse called for Abinadab. He had him walk in front of Samuel, but Samuel said, The Lord hasn't chosen him either. Then Jesse had Shemnah walk by, but Samuel said, The Lord hasn't chosen him either. Jesse had 7 of his sons walk in front of Samuel, but Samuel said to him, The Lord has chosen any of them. So he asked Jesse, Are these the only sons you have? No, Jesse answered, My youngest son is taking care of the sheep. Samuel said, Send for him. We won't sit down to eat until he arrives. So Jesse sent for his son and had him brought in. He looked very healthy. He had a fine appearance and handsome features. Then the Lord said, Get up and anoint him. This is the one. So Samuel got the animal horn that was filled with olive oil. He anointed David in front of his brothers. From that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully on David. And Samuel went back to Ramah. The Spirit of the Lord had left Saul, and an evil spirit sent by the Lord terrified him. But Saul's attendant said to him, An evil spirit sent by God is terrifying you. Give us an order to look for someone who can play the harp. He will play it when the evil spirit sent by God comes on you. Then you will feel better. So Saul said to his attendants, Find someone who plays the harp well. Bring him to me. One of the servants said, I've seen someone who knows how to play the harp. He's a son of Jesse from Bethlehem. He's a brave man. He would make a good soldier. He's a good speaker. He's very handsome, and the Lord is with him. Then Saul sent a messenger to Jesse. He said, Send me your son David, the one who takes care of your sheep. So Jesse got some bread and a bottle of wine. The bottle was made out of animal skin. He also got a young goat. He loaded everything on the back of a donkey. He sent all of it to Saul with his son David. And David went to Saul and began to serve him. Saul liked him very much. They became one of the men who carried Saul's armor. Saul sent a message to Jesse. Saul said, Let David stay here. I want him to serve me. I'm pleased with him. When the evil spirit sent by God would come on Saul, they would get his harp and play. That would help Saul. He would feel better, and the evil spirit would leave him.